Well, as you can see, based on how impatiently I've been waiting for this package, you can tell that it's definitely something pretty special. So, without any delays, we're going to go ahead and cut this open and see what's inside of it. Lovely box cutter. I'm going to try to actually... This is nice too because I just sold another vacuum, so if I realize that I don't have a good enough box, I immediately got one right here. So this worked out perfectly. And I'm also opening this as soon as possible for that reason, so if I need to leave and go to the post office to ship the other vacuum, I can do that. Because I just sold the Wind Tunnel Ultra, and, well, I can't say this machine will be taking its place because this machine will not be going out in the shed. It'll be staying at home. Ooh, the bag is, or not the bag, the box is ripping. Let's cut that tape up. There's a box cutter, but ideally I don't want to cut the box. What do we got in here? Ooh, we got something pretty special. So starting off, we have a handle. Ew. This top bit of the handle feels really cheap for some reason, but got a handle right here with a lovely rocker switch. So we've got that, and we'll get the cable out next. Nicely attached to the handle. Cable appears to be in good shape so far. It's got a little bit of dusty stuff on it, but nothing that's too out of the ordinary. It's the plug. See if there's any hints yet for what this is. Plenty of nice bubble wrap. Here we have the midsection of the machine, which we'll set down real quick. Has the crevice tool, which is nice. Has the wand and the hose. Appears to be missing the upholstery tool, unfortunately. Unless it's... Hopefully it's popped out in the package, because it'd be nice to have that. Although, frankly, if it didn't have that, I don't care. This is still an amazing deal. Ooh, those scratches. Look at those scratches. Pull this out and make sure there's nothing else in the box. It appears that that is it. That is, in fact, everything in this box, which is perfectly fine. So, I'm just going to go ahead and put this back in the box. Plenty of bubble wrapping. And kick the box to the side. Hit the cheap crap vacuums in the process. Hi, Ruby. So what is this machine that we have here? Well, it is in fact made in Germany. Isn't that nice? Got plenty of scratches on the front of it, but definitely not complaining. But we can see on the bottom of here, if we pull this, how does this come down? It comes down like that, right? There we go. So we can see the bottom of this with the extra brush on the side, which is really loose for some reason. There's a lot of play in that brush. Actually, there's a lot of play in both of these brushes for some reason. Little flap right there. Little wheel. Doesn't look to be too bad. You can see right here, Sebo Automatic X5. So we can see right there, Sebo America LLC, made in Germany. So this is serial number S5013331. If anyone knows how to serial date one of these Sebos, because I'm not sure how this is dated, but see manufacturer code AZ, whatever that means. Got a little warning label right there that's chewed off. So there's a lot of play in this brush roller. So actually I'll look at that real quick. Let's see. Oh, I had it right the first time. for whatever reason, this is... But again, even if this brush roller is completely shot, for the price that I paid for this, I am not complaining whatsoever. If I can push this button correctly, I'm not used to these Sebos. Oh, where is my tripod? I don't remember where I put it. Doing it live. Do I want to pause the video? I don't know where my tripod is. One sec. Alright, so found the tripod. Gonna pop this in real quick. Please excuse the messy background. Let's see, does this... I see. So I can turn this down like this. So, for whatever reason, because I want to make sure everything's good on this before I run it. So this brush roller, now this, let's see, pops off. Okay, got some hair around that, that's no big deal. Pull that off real quick. So in case you didn't get the memo, I'm sure if any of you are well versed in the vacuum industry, you are very familiar with this brand. And I'm sure some of you have been wondering why it took me so long to get one of these German marvels on this channel. And the truth is that, well, I mean, have you seen the price tags on these things? Of course I wasn't going to go buy one with my own money, brand new, because who has the money for that? I'm wondering, I'm looking at this. Again, this is the first time I've ever seen one of these Sebos in person. Because again, I've never seen one of these in person. I never worked on one of these. It's just never come up. No one's ever brought one in for me to service. I had never seen anyone that owned one, at least not that I noticed and recognized it. And not in person, I should say. Obviously, I have a lot of friends who have these, but I haven't seen them in person. So there's that. And then there's, of course, this little spindle guy right here. I'll pull this cap off on the side. One thing I love about these things already is that, I will say, this cap is a little bit finicky. But that bearing, is that supposed to spin? Again, this is all new to me. That's what that looks like. Are you going to focus? So that's what that looks like. Then here's this other brush roll. So obviously this is the main brush roll, and then so there's a different model of this that you may have seen, and really the only difference is it's dead simple. So it just, this is where the belt always rides, and just on the normal unit that just has this square base, it's just cut off right here. So these brush rollers, from what I understand, are the same on both the standard base and the wide path bases, and they just have this extra piece, which I think is a brilliant idea, because it means that if that's the case, and that means you have the same brush roller for every unit, and there's much less confusion. Yeah, so I want to get all this thread and stuff off of here before I run this thing. So quick story, shout out to my good friend Rhett. I believe his YouTube channel name is Rhett2TV, I think that's what it is. If I'm butchering that name, it's fine. I'll put his channel link in the description, so you can go subscribe to him. I'll also pin him to the favorited channels on the side if I remember to do that as well. He gave me an excellent deal on this machine because he got one of these in and he just wanted to get rid of it. He didn't want to hold on to it, and I basically said, look, I don't have, if you honestly want to get rid of it, like get rid of it. I will give you what I have for it, and maybe you can at least get something out of it versus throwing it away. And he's like, deal. Because I didn't think he was going to go for it, because basically after, because I basically had like $50 to spend on a vacuum at this point, and at this point he did it through OfferUp, of course, because that's the best way to ship a vacuum these days, but you have to do all sorts of hoops nowadays to get it to ship. But so with OfferUp's fees and the shipping cost, it was only going to be about like $30 and change, 30 something dollars. And I told him that. I was like, look, you're not going to be, I don't want to offer you this much, because this seems like it'd be way too little for a $800, $900 vacuum. And he's like, I don't care, I want to get rid of it. So, he was like, sold, it's yours. And I'm like, really? So, yep, nope. He set it up. There was some issues with the listing for whatever reason, but he ended up having to list it as a toaster of all things in order to get OfferUp to play nice and ship it. So on the listing, it literally says "cool toaster," and I don't know why there's so much play in this brush roller. I'm hoping that this will go away when it's running, but I don't have my hopes high. Again, I'm not complaining about any of this because for the price that I paid, I will gladly deal with some troubleshooting on this. So yeah, because I watched a lot of videos on this machine. There's so many good videos out there, but there's also like it's not like ubiquitous. Like Performance Reviews has done a lot of great videos on this machine. VacTech also has done great videos on this machine. All those, both those guys have done great videos on both using it, reviewing it, servicing it. John Smith did a great review on this, and there's a bunch of others that I'm missing out on, like iBaziak and all that sort of stuff. But the reason I mention all that is because I've been binging content on this machine ever since I got it, but not really at all since before I got it, because it was just such an impulse buy price that I immediately jumped on it before I did any research on the machine. And I'll be honest, I have not slept at all in like the last 48 hours. So all that stuff from all those videos has just gone in one ear and out the other. I don't remember anything. So I'm going in this mostly blind. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, shout out to all those guys. They all make great videos on this machine and plenty of others. I'm not doing this right, am I? No, this is... Oh, I see, because this is a... That's round, and this is an actual bearing. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, like I said, I'm running on literally no sleep, so if some of this stuff is like dead simple and I'm struggling with it, just cut me some slack. I'm not used to this. And this is also a brand new machine that I've never used before, even though a lot of this stuff is simple. And my washer is beeping in the background in case you hear it singing. That's the lovely Sam singing. Well, soon it will be... Oh. Yep, okay. So Sam has sung. All right. So that's the Powerhead. And, yeah, there's a lot... That's not supposed to be like that, is it? That doesn't seem right. There's got to be something missing. Oh, there's a little strip that goes here, isn't there? Ah, that's what it is. I just remembered now. There's like a strip that goes along this and closes this bit off. Okay. Okay, so for those of you who decided to comment before actually watching all the videos, yes, I recognize this piece is missing. If you want to comment before you get through the entire video. And I don't think that's in the box. Well, I'm not going to throw away the box, so if I find it later, then yeah, I'm sure Red will let me know if some crap is missing. But anyways, so I'm going to flip this over because that's all I have right now, but I'm pretty sure I can get that piece dirt cheap. So again, for the price I paid, I'm not going to complain about anything. If this machine turns on and it doesn't sound like a jet engine or a tornado siren, I'm going to be happy. There's some dust. There's a lot of scuffs on this machine. Someone clearly was mad at someone and took it out on this machine. And there's actually a sticker on the back here for a company. I don't want to show it because I don't know if this is private information. I'll ask Rhett and ask him if he wants me to block that off. But just in case, there's a cool red sticker from like a janitorial company, but I don't want to show that because I'm not sure if that's sensitive information. But you can tell there's a sticker there. So anyways, the thing I love about this Sebo is that there's just this little bracket right here. I think you just line this up, and I believe this just pops right in, like super simple. Yeah, that took nothing at all. That was really nice. Just popped right in. There's a little bit of play. I'm assuming that's normal. Again, this machine might have been well loved. They got the crevice tool pops off like that. You got the cord. Oh, you can't see it. Let me turn this over here So you can see, it's cool. There's a cute little mini handle on the top too. So there's, I might need to, well, this is really loose for whatever reason. I don't know why this part of the mount is loose. Okay, that's why, because it's facing the wrong way. Pardon me, guys. This isn't exactly kosher. Give me a sec while I fiddle with this and utterly fail at life for a few seconds. But this is raw. This is my raw reaction to this machine, to getting something in the studio that's a lot more premium. This is not. There we go. That's what we want. So we can see, oh, again, don't want to show that sticker. We got the crevice tool, like I just mentioned. There's this pedal thing down here. I'll show that later in the full review. But you got this wand that pops off just like that, and this hose that, like, I don't know how this works. Oh wait, no, I just figured it out. So there's a little button on the inside, right this, and you can push that, and that lets the hose pop out. Otherwise, you can just leave it, and it'll just lock the hose in automatically. You hear it click, and then you can just pop it down on the machine. And so there's like this little baby handle that it just friction fits right on the top, and the hose just slinks in like that. It just slinks right in like that. And then now we can grab the main handle with the cord on it. And this is really nice. It's just one piece. See, at first I kind of complained about this. I was like, oh, well, this means that, you know, oh, then if your handle's fine, then you got to replace it instead of just the cord. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, this actually makes a lot more sense, because with how easy this is, you're going to incentivize more people to replace their cord instead of throwing away their vacuum. So I think that's brilliant. And look at that. It just, little tab just snaps in. There is a little bit of play, but again, I'm pretty sure that's just because this machine is very well loved. So cord just comes right through the top, and we can see, we throw this haphazardly. Oh, there is one little chew spot on the cord, but there's no bare wires showing, so I think it should be okay. Yeah, that'll be okay. And of course, I can always easily swap it later if I want to. So again, for the price I paid, I'm not going to complain whatsoever. So, in case you still haven't figured it out, this is the Sebo Automatic X5. So it is one of the higher end automatic series Sebo uprights, which are, if you don't know what Sebo is, if you're only familiar with more budget machines like I was for a while, Sebo is basically like just a really high-end brand, a high-end bag brand. Because a lot of times, a lot of normal consumers who just buy from big box stores, they don't actually go into vacuum shops. They may think that high-end brands are bagless machines like Dyson and Shark. There's actually a lot of other higher-end brands. You know, there's obviously Pneumatic, there's Sebo and Miele. Those two are probably going to be the most common in the States. And then there's a few others. So taking off this bag, you can see the filter in here is in good shape. The inside of this is all clean. We've got a lovely genuine Sebo bag, which is full of junk. So definitely it's been thoroughly tested. Ooh, it smells. But yeah. I mean, to be fair, I did ask if it had a bag in it, and I didn't necessarily specify if it was an empty bag, so I ain't mad at that. Because I just asked if there was a bag. I didn't ask if it was completely empty or not. So you just push this down a little bit and just kind of line it up, and then just push this tab down, and that locks it in place. Again, this doesn't feel like it's sealed all that well, but I mean, again, I think this is just, I don't know if this is because of the design of the machine, or if this one's just, no, actually, now that it's on there, no, that's pretty sturdy. That's not going anywhere. Okay, so this is not very graceful. There we go. No, this is an awful unboxing, isn't it? But anyways, there's the Sebo X5 Automatic. How am I gonna do this? I think if I'll just tilt this forward, just like that, and that'll be good. And I'll use the wand and the crevice tool to suck up all that hair. So let's well, first off, this pedal release is this. Yeah, so this is in the all the way down position. There's a little switch on the back that you can flip. There we go. And then now it'll catch on that and it'll lift up in case you want to do that sort of thing. But I think, you know what? Actually, I think I'm just going to leave it because I hardly ever have to lift it up on things. So I think it'll be better for it to go all the way flat. And that's the nice thing about bagged is that this is such a thin profile, you can get under stuff easier. So how does the machine weigh? Because I've always worried about these things being heavy. You know what? That's not too bad. Like it is a heavy machine, but you know, for me, like I'm always really sensitive to really heavy machines, but that's something like I can deal with. Now, Rhett is also giving me a Miele U1, so we're covering both of the big German brands. So next time I get a vacuum from Rhett, it'll be the Miele U1. So it'll be interesting to look at that. I'm gonna assume just by the looks of it, the Miele U1 is gonna be a lot bulkier. And obviously, of course, the second I get any machine and Miele gets pulled from the market, and then my review ends up being borderline useless, but whatever. Is this on the off position? Yep, let's turn it off. Okay. Now let's give this lovely machine a try and see how well it does. I'm worried about these brushes. I'm assuming the brush was going to be off when I first started, or is there? Yeah. Oh wow. gotta say, other than the smell, but again, this is obviously a pretty heavily abused machine, and obviously there's nothing stopping me from doing a full strip down service on this myself. In fact, I'm very excited to do such a thing since it'll be my first ever, both my first ever Sebo that I've ever owned and the first ever Sebo that I will have done some sort of, well, repairs on. Obviously, there's nothing functionally wrong with the unit, but there is some smells and stuff that could use an eradication from the machine, so to speak. But yeah, so even though it's missing that bottom piece, that bottom whatchamacallit, which I would imagine probably affected the performance because obviously that opening was just wide open. There wasn't a good seal on it. It definitely first impressions are very positive on this machine. I will say that the handling, and again, I don't want to comment on this too much because again, it is missing that bottom piece, and there are a couple things obviously need to still be done to it. The automatic feature appears to be working okay. It doesn't seem like it's defective. It seemed like the lights were doing everything they were supposed to. It felt like it was doing something. I will say that, again, this may be due to that piece not being there. The agitation, like the grooming is fine, but the agitation I wasn't really all that impressed with. Like, I've used plenty of vacuums that have much more agitation than this machine. And, but the thing is maybe, because obviously this is, from a lot of metrics that I've seen, a very well performing machine. So maybe like this machine managed to make it to where it can still get all the crap out of the carpet without buzzing everything around your feet. And if that's the case, then maybe that'll change my whole mindset on how grooming the carpet actually works. But I mean, I have my doubts on it. If I'm being honest, I have my doubts, but who knows? When I get that bottom piece, it looked like the brush rollers didn't need to be replaced. It looked like the bristles were plenty long enough. And I think just the main reason why there was all that play was probably just because of that bottom cover not being present. And I believe that's a part I can order direct from Sebo. I'm pretty sure I can. I'll have to look at that after this video. And obviously, I know so many people with these machines. I'm sure I could probably get someone who could sell me one if I can't find one anywhere else. So, that bottom piece. So, but I will say that the handling of it is really nice. The handle on it, which looked really weird when I first looked at it, I thought that the handle on the top looked kind of goofy. It's really comfortable. Like it reminds me a lot of the Nintendo GameCube controller, where like it looks really weird when you first look at it, but when you actually hold it, it just kind of melts into your hand. It's really comfortable to hold, and I think that's the same story with that handle. Obviously, you have the fingertip mounted power switch, which is really nice. The thing I'm wondering is, where is the brush roll shutoff on this machine? Because I don't remember people talking about where that was. And I would assume that it has it, or maybe like can it tell that you're on a floor and then shut off the brush? I know on the G series you can't shut off the brush. From at least I thought that was the case. And I think on the Felix you can, right? Again, I'm mostly illiterate to these machines because the only things that I've ever learned from these are just from recent YouTube videos that I've watched, or ones that I've watched a few years ago that I never paid attention to and just can't remember after all these years. So, I mean, but I gotta say, first impressions are definitely very positive. I mean, I will say that it's a lot easier to be positive on a machine when you've only paid $50 for it as opposed to if you paid 900. But obviously, if I paid 900, then all these scratches and the smells and all that and the missing pieces wouldn't be there. But again, I just want to reiterate, like, I'm not knocking on Rhett for this because I don't give a crap. If this thing ran, I don't care how scratched up it was. I don't care if the brush rolls were shot and the bag was blown up. I don't care. For that price, it's a good deal no matter what. So regardless, I gotta send Rhett a big thanks. I'm looking forward to getting the U1 from him as well. But this definitely was on the priority list because this one I was more excited about. because I think Sebo just seems like a brand I would like more than something like Miele. Just because, they have more uprights, and I'm more of an upright guy. Now, sure, I'm always open to trying out canisters, but look, uprights are just my comfort spot. They're my comfort vacuum. It's just what I'm used to. It's what I like. It's what I think is intuitive for me, my household, and the way that I use my vacuum. So for me, an upright is always going to be preferable, especially nowadays when I have cordless machines that can do the jobs that an upright might struggle with compared to a canister, like stairs or something like that. So the advantages for a canister for me just aren't really that valuable, which is why I was very excited to check out this, and why I'm very happy to have one in the collection and in the studio. So, but yeah. So, anyways, my throat is getting really sore just because no sleep, and I've been talking for a while. But anyways, so again, there are a couple little pieces that I got to get. There is a little bit of a dusty smell. I'm wondering if that'll go away if I just change the bag and the filters. I'm sure those will go away because of course there's the bag, there's the main pre-motor filter, and the main exhaust filter. So, you know, obviously those could do to be changed. But again, I wouldn't expect anyone to sell this machine to me for $30 to have replaced those parts when those would obviously supersede the cost of the machine, or not the machine, but the cost of the purchase to begin with. So again, and the reason I keep stressing that is because I don't like complaining whenever I buy a vacuum off of someone, because it almost feels like they're responsible for it. But I mean, I don't see it that way. Obviously, the transaction was for the vacuum. Any issues with the vacuum, unless it was like the motor didn't run or something, something crazy like that, or like in the case of that one Dyson DC-18 that I got, if you guys remember that, where it smelled like dog shit, and the entire thing was just filthy and not working and clogged, and it was just so bad and packed very poorly, and that was just a very bad experience all around. But this machine, not the case whatsoever. I definitely expected to enjoy this machine, at least to an extent. I was still skeptical. Do I have this locked in? Nope, I didn't. So, but yeah. So limited first impressions, very positive. I'm definitely a fan of this machine, and again, if I was judging based off of first impressions, I would say for the money that I paid for it, absolutely, totally worth it, every single penny and double. So, because I mean, anyone, you'd be stupid not to pay $100 for this machine if you got the opportunity. And I can say that now, even after the limited experiences that I've had with it. And just obviously, there's that huge track record over the past 10, 20 years. They obviously have built up a very solid reputation for themselves at Sebo. And my expectations have definitely been met. Have they been exceeded? That remains to be seen. But I definitely am happy with this machine. My first impressions of it are very positive. Like I mentioned, right out of the box, the things that I like the very serviceable brush roll. I like the fact that I can get the parts really easily. That handle that allows the easy, like, one-touch change of the cord is genius. The extra wand, I kind of was skeptical about this extra wand. Like, why would you want a handle on the wand that's separate from the handle? Maybe not why, because obviously the reasoning is pretty obvious, but it's like, is it that big of a deal? And yeah, it is really nice. So, and also, I'm going to say it. It's blue, and I like blue. It's also blue and yellow. It reminds me of like a sports team edition. Although I can't recall any sports teams off the top of my head that's blue and yellow. But I'm sure someone will rattle off in the comments their favorite sports team with the blue and yellow color scheme. I can't think of any. Chiefs, Packers, Royals. I don't know who else would have that. But anyways, so to get back to the machine itself, which is what you obviously came here for, as well as my big, long-winded rant where I ramble about things that don't matter, because that's what you came here for. Or at least I hope you did. If that's what you came here for, then definitely drop a like on this video. And if you're happy to see more premium machines come to the channel, again, drop a like on this video, subscribe. Like I mentioned, I will be getting the Miele U1 as well at some point soon. And I'll also be doing reviews on other premium machines, although ones that might not be as good to some people. But like I said, the review for machines like the Kinetic Big Ball are coming soon, and a lot of other machines as well, both budget and premium. Obviously, my specialty is budget because a lot of other channels don't focus on budget; they only focus on premium stuff like this. But there's nothing wrong with checking out a premium machine, and especially for personal reasons, I wanted something a bit nicer. No, you know what? I'm not going to say that because I'll be honest. I was basically peer pressured into getting this because I was perfectly happy with my Sanitaire, the Bissell Tear that's over there, and the Clear Track and all that as my daily drivers. I was perfectly happy with those machines, but I did recognize the shortcomings, and I know some people mentioned, look, get something like this. You're going to be much happier with it. It's going to be much more reliable. You're just going to like it all around so much better. And you know what? I can totally understand why they say that because this is a supremely built machine and I'm looking forward to using it more. Now, the interesting thing is the main reason that got me to use that Sanitaire was how cheap the bags were. Because otherwise I would have likely upgraded to the new Series Tempo, which I have yet to review that as well. But if I can get a good enough price as far as to capacity for these Sebo bags as well, because if I'm gonna have a daily driver that's a bag machine, the bag's got to be affordable. I can't be spending, $100 on 3 bags. That's just not Ruby. Ruby, stop it! There's nobody even at the door. What are you barking at? Are you barking at neighbors walking by? Ruby, get over here. Doofus. You little doofus. Here, look at this little doofus. Look at this little doofus. Aren't you a doofus? Yeah, I'm just jamming the tripod in your face. Hi, boobers. Hello. Boobers. Okay, well, I think that's my cue to wrap this up. So anyways, I'll be looking out for those parts that this machine needs, which, I mean, the main thing is just that bottom plate. Again, I'm hoping that bottom plate will fix the issue with the brush roller play. But otherwise, that's my unboxing and the first impressions of the Sebo Automatic X5. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope you guys are looking forward to many, many more reviews coming soon. And I just paused the video, so I forgot where I was in the outro, so I'll start over again. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. This is the unboxing and first impressions of the Sebo Automatic X5. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, sorry if the quality is really up. I want to get this up the day that I got it, so Friday, the day that this is recorded, will be going up. It's literally like 10 o'clock in the morning, because obviously the post office just dropped it off, and I just tried it out, so this is all in real time, basically. So, anyways, I already said Inteltech Studios signing out. I already said that, so I don't want to repeat myself again, even though I technically just did. I will see you guys in the next video, and, yep. Okay, I don't know how to end this video now. Doggo. Ruby. Get on the camera. Nope, a little bit further. Nope, a little bit further. Yeah, look at that. Who's a good girl? Do you like the Sebo? Do you like the Sebo, Rubers? Do you like the Sebo?